Guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be like a curating my lipstick collection video. Now I do want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer before we jump into the video. I had pre-filmed this video in a very different style earlier, and I was actually sitting today to edit that particular video, and that's when I discovered that I actually lost all the footage. Now I don't know what's been happening with my phone recently, but I did lose a couple of pictures, and I did also, now that I'm realizing, lose the footage of me, like when I had filmed the curating my lipstick collection video. I lost that footage as well. So in that video it was more of like me like actually showing you all like my whole lipstick collection and doing the process of like actually curating my collection on camera itself. It was more of like a live, more immersive experience, I want to kind of call it. So yeah, I really wish that I hadn't lost that footage, and I wish you were seeing that, because that would have been more fun. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure that you guys would enjoy that video. If I ever like end up doing something like that in the future, I will try to not lose my footage and have backup and stuff like that. But yeah, basically in my lipstick collection, I would say I have around 20 to 25 lipsticks at this point, and I could categorize like my whole lipstick collection into 3 categories. Lipsticks that I love using, but they're kind of like ones that I will use and use up and not eventually purchase in the future. Then I have like my favorite lipsticks, like the ones that I love the formulation, love the shades, they're just my favorite holy grail lipsticks. And then I have my third category, which is lipsticks that I'm like trying out. Maybe I like the shade but I'm testing out the formulation, or maybe I love the formulation but I'm testing out the shade and kind of like trying to use it and see how I can create different looks with them. So those are the 3 categories of lipsticks that I have. And when I say that I'm curating my collection, I am using up lipsticks that I want to get out of my collection. I'm also figuring out and I want to just own lipsticks that I like truly love. I don't want to have lipsticks that in my collection that I sort of like but I'm not sure about them. So that's what I mean by curating my collection. So I'm going to show you my 3 piles that I have in my lipstick collection, and then we're going to also talk through them as well, and I'm going to kind of share my thoughts on them, etc. So that's what this video is going to be about. Like I said, I would have liked to do it like live on camera and show you the actual experience of me doing it, but since that did not end up happening, I'm going to refilm and I'm going to share with you my 3 piles. So starting with first the pile of lipsticks that I want to use and use up and get out of my collection. So we have these 2 lip oils by Russ Luxury Oils. We have the shade Mauve Pink and we have the shade Nude Brown. Now these are the 2 OG shades that this range had. They have now come up with more shades, which tells me that people are really liking the formulation. I personally am not a very big fan of it. So these are basically like lip oils, tinted lip oils. Basically they have a little bit of color. I would not necessarily wear them on their own like for the whole day, because I feel like it'll eventually fade. It can look a little patchy as well. It looks like a tinted lip balm. You have to blend it really well. The smell is also a little bit off-putting, and that's just not my opinion. That's also the opinion of my friends who have come over and have like seen the product and experienced it and like put it on, and they absolutely hated the smell of it. I don't hate the smell of it, I'm just not a very big fan of it. So I will kind of use it up eventually, but once these are done, I'm gonna like move on from them, not repurchase them. So yeah, for me personally, not a big fan. I also wouldn't repurchase or recommend it, because again, they're very expensive for what they are and they don't really seem like they're worth it. I would rather have you buy like high-end liquid lipsticks instead of getting something like this. So yeah, for me personally, that was definitely a pass. I want to use them and use them up. Then we have the YBB color cream. Now this is something that's obviously not around anymore, but I have it in my collection. I love the shade. I have the shade Mermaid, and this is a really pretty purple that I like using on no makeup days for a pop of like lip color on your lips, and it really stands out and looks beautiful. I don't like to use this on my eyes or on my cheeks, just because for me personally I don't think it looks good on me, but as a lip tint I really like it. That being said, it is obviously a product that's been around for a long time. This product has now been discontinued. In fact, I've had it in my collection for a long time. It's taken me a while to get around with it. So yeah, for that reason, I'm just going to use it and use it up and then move past it. But I really hope that YBB color creams come back and they come out with like more nude shades, even for that matter, more wearable shades, because that's when I think I'm gonna really love it. So yeah, those are the YBB color creams. Moving on, next, two of my current favorite lipsticks that I've been wearing as a combo. It's also what I have currently on my lips right now. We have a Lakme 9 to 5 Primer Plus Matte lipstick in the shade Caramel Cut, and this is the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Rosewood. This is the combo that is in my everyday makeup pouch. I wear it every single day. It's also what I currently have on my lips. And the Lakme 95 Primer Plus Matte formulation I really liked initially, but I've realized that we've just developed so many better bullet lipsticks in the market these days, which are much better than this. And that's why I feel like whatever I have in my collection, I want to use and use up. But once I do, I don't see myself repurchasing any of them. Just for me personally, I'm not a very big fan of them anymore. That being said, I think I also have one more shade from them, which I'm trying to look for and see where it is. It's the shade, what's it called? Cherry Chic. That one is a really pretty brown that I really like, but then again, it's one that I don't see myself wearing every single day. Again, I don't know where it is. It should be around somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is, but yeah. Any which ways, so we have the Lakme 9 to 5 formulation Primer Plus Matte lipsticks that I'm going to use and use up, and we have the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte lip colors that I do like, but again, it's not my favorite liquid lipstick formulation. They're really pretty on the lips, like this particular shade is really pretty, but it's not a favorite because I don't think it wears very well throughout the day. On the lips, it can kind of crack, feel a little bit drying after a couple of hours, not look very pretty and put together throughout the day. So yeah, for that particular reason, this one I like to pair them together, wear them together, and it works really well. But yeah, that is that. Moving on, next we have some PAC liquid lipsticks. This is a formulation that I used to really like, but again, eventually I've realized that there are better formulations out there, which is why I don't gravitate for these as much. I love the shade Teddy Bear. I have used this religiously and I am pretty much like done with it as well. It's dried up completely. At one point this was like my favorite formulation ever. Now I don't know if they've reformulated it and it's kind of weird, but it's got like glitter sparkles in there which don't really look very flattering sometimes. Like, you don't see it when you first apply it, but as it fades throughout the day, I feel like the sparkles become more visible. It's weird, and I've faced that issue only with Teddy Bear. I don't face that issue with Pretty in Pink, which is another shade that I have from them, and this particular one is also really nice. It's like a dark, slightly neon tint to it pink, and it's a really pretty shade. Again, when I want my lipstick to stand out and like the rest of my face to be really subtle, that's when I reach for this shade. So yeah, I would love to wear them, love to use them and use them up, but once I'm done with them, I don't think I'm gonna go back to the PAC Retro Matte liquid lipstick formulation. Moving on, next we have a very old lipstick that I have in my collection. This is Streetwear Runaway Russet. Streetwear's lipsticks don't even look like this anymore. I bought this lipstick right before Streetwear reformulated and repackaged, and now I don't think they even have the shade Runaway Russet anymore. I mean, I'm sure they might have another shade that is just like Runaway Russet, which is a typical slightly mauve nude pink shade. This particular shade, like the exact same shade and this exact packaging, is not available anymore, but this is kind of one of those products that reminds me of like me first starting out with my makeup, and I think it's very nostalgic for that reason. But it's a very old lipstick and I do want to use and use it up just because it's been around for so long and I want to use it up before it goes bad. So yeah, this is something that's also in my project pan and I'm trying to use and use up. So yeah, we have that. Moving on, next we have another lipstick that's discontinued and it's not available anymore. This is the Maybelline Lip Gradation in the shade Pink 1. This is a very bright neon pink kind of a lipstick, and it's one that doesn't necessarily look good on its own, but I can mix it with a couple of lipsticks and use it that way. So I will again use and use it up, but once I'm done with it, I obviously cannot repurchase it, and even if I could, I wouldn't, just because the shade on its own is not super flattering on my complexion. We also have a lip liner. This is by Faces. This is the only lip liner that I own. It's in the shade Maroon 06, and it's the Faces All Time Pro Lip Definer lip liners. I do have a shade from MAC. This is Russian Red. I'll talk about this later, but I think that's something I can use with this. I can also use the Lakme 95 Primer Plus Matte, the Cherry Chic shade with this as well, and kind of use it and use it up like that. But yeah, we have this lip liner as well that is in my pile of products that I want to use and use up. Then we have 3 more lipsticks that I'm going to just quickly talk about. We have Sweet Amber by Faces. This is another all-time pro lipstick. It's a really pretty coral pink kind of a shade. I really like it. It's a great everyday pink. It's just not my absolute favorite formulation out there, because the issue that I have with this is that when I eat throughout the day, it gets smudged, and it smudges in a very ugly way. So that's kind of what I don't like about this as much. I have to pair it with the liquid lipstick, something like Pretty in Pink from PAC. I had also used it with Soza a lot, which is also from PAC. I had used it with some of my Smashbox mini liquid lipsticks that I had. So yeah, this is just one that I don't like to use on its own that much, because I feel like it doesn't really work that great. Then we also have Avon Mark Liquid Lip Lacquer Matte. This is the shade Dare to Be Bare. Another one of those lipsticks that is very light. Doesn't look good on me on its own, but I can mix it with other lipsticks like Cherry Chic again from the Lakme 9 to 5 Primer Plus Matte range and make it work that way. Then we have Maybelline Almond Pink. This is from the Powder Mattes range. Now this is one of the lipsticks that is a really pretty shade, but the tragedy that happened with this is that it actually came off, like the bullet actually broke off from the base, and now it's a little bit difficult to apply. So I want to kind of use it and use it up before the bullet gets completely damaged in here. So yeah, that's why I'm going to also try to focus on this a little bit more and just use it and use it up before it becomes like so bad and pathetic in a condition that I cannot use it anymore. But yeah, I think those are pretty much all the lipsticks that I want to use and use up. Now moving on to some of my favorite lipstick formulations. We have obviously the Maybelline Superstay Matte Inks. I have the shade Amazonian and I have the shade Ruler. This is a nude. This is a bright dark pink. Again, looks beautiful. I love this formulation. I really wish Maybelline was cruelty free. It's a super comfortable formulation, but it's very, very long lasting. It can be a little bit annoying to get off your lips at the end of the day. Specifically, the dark pink can be a real pain in the ass to get rid of at the end of the day. So that can be a little bit of an issue, but I still love, love, love them. I've also spoken about the Miss Claire matte power lip colors. These are very similar to these in terms of shades, and I love that these are cruelty free, unlike Maybelline. I really like the pink shade, and then the Miss Claire 06 shade is one that could make for a beautiful, beautiful everyday shade. For me personally, I love the formulation of these as well. So these 4 are kind of like some of my absolute favorite lipsticks just in general overall. Love, love, love them. Also 2 other you know, I forgot the word, bullet lipsticks, which are my absolute favorite, is the Nykaa So Matte in Praline Cookie, which is again a beautiful everyday nude, and Nykaa Ultra Matte in the shade Diana, which is a nice mauve pink shade. as well. So these were kind of in my pile of lipsticks that I wanted to try out, test out, and see how I like the formulation of, how well they last throughout the day and stuff like that. And I did do that in the month of May. So I've realized that I really love this formulation when it comes to bullet lipsticks, which is why these are also going in like my top favorite formulations wala pile. We also have the Faces All-Time Pro HD Intense Matte Lips Plus Primer. These are lip crayons. Again, we have a slightly more brown nude kind of a shade. This is in the shade Natural Cocoa, and we have a slightly more pinker mauve shade as well. This is the shade Magnetic. Again, a beautiful formulation. I would put this a little bit in the category of products that I want to try out and see what looks I can come up with, but I know I love the formulation already, so that's something that I don't doubt even for a second. So yeah, that's another formulation that I wanted to quickly talk about. Now moving on, next we have our pile of lipsticks that I want to try out, test out, and see which ones I like, which ones I don't like. We have Nykaa Mona Lisa from the Ultra Matte range. Now I know I really like the Ultra Matte range, but this specific shade I'm super excited to like try out and see. It's a little bit more of like a nude terracotta kind of a shade. So yeah, that's what it looks like, and on the lips it definitely looks like a beautiful warm nude kind of a shade. So again, I'm waiting to like try and test this out and see how it looks like, etc. Then we have two MAC lipsticks. One I spoke about earlier. This is Russian Red. Now this is one that I do want to wear a couple of times, but again, I'm just the person, like I would love to wear a red, I just don't end up wearing one ever. This is the only red that I have in my collection, so that's why like no matter what, I'm not gonna declutter this shade. But yeah, I want to wear it a couple of times and really see how I feel about it, see how I can wear it, when I can wear it, and get some use out of it. We also have Whirl by MAC, which is a really beautiful like cool toned nude kind of a shade. So yeah, we have that as well. Then we have a similar looking packaging in terms of lipstick. This is the Faces, what is the name of this range? It's their $2.99 wala range, and I have the shade Subtle Mauve. And like the name says, this is a mauve pink nude kind of a shade. So yeah, again, I've worn this I think once or twice, but I need to wear it a couple of times more, figure out how long lasting it is. I know a lot of people really like a couple of shades from this range. So yeah, that is that. Excited to like try and test it out and see how it works for me. Then we also have these two like cult classic shades from Maybelline. This is from their what range is this? I think it's called the Creamy Matte range. We have Touch of Spice and we have Nude Nuance. These two shades are like super duper popular, and that's why I got them. But they're also again, one is a pink, one is a nude. Nude Nuance is a nude warm brown kind of a shade, and Touch of Spice is your typical mauve pink, nude pink kind of shade. So again, I know that I really like this formulation per se. I just have to like test out the longevity, see how I like them, and just use them a little bit more. So we have that. Then we also have a color bar lipstick. This is in the shade Fashion Brigade, and this is called their Matte Touch lipstick range. This is again another pink. Now with this, what I have noticed is that I really like the longevity of this for it to be a bullet lipstick, because even after like meals, I don't see this fading that much as compared to some of the other bullet lipsticks that I have seen that do fade throughout the day. So that's something I really like about this specific formulation. And the shade is obviously like a nude pink. It's a go-to classic shade, so love that. Moving on, next we have the K-Beauty Matinee Lip Crayon. Now I have decluttered the shade Faux Pas, but this is the shade Rumor, and I will say that Rumor and Faux Pas are very similar to each other. I will be using Rumor and again testing it out. I kind of know what it is like, but I want to use it and give it some more love. So yeah, this one is like in the box still, which tells you that it is new, but this is what the actual component looks like. And yeah, once I use it a little bit more, you'll see it featured a little bit more in my videos as well. So yeah, we have that. And then last but not the least, we have two Bright Beauty, what is this called, Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayon. I have the shade Pink Paloma, and I have the shade No Nino. No Nino is like a cool toned pink. It's very much like the shade of onion. I thought this was called onion, but it's actually not called onion. It's called No Nino. I just realized that while filming this video. And then Pink Paloma is a more bright, slightly, how should I describe it? Like a bright pink that's not super neon. So these two are still like more wearable as compared to the other Bite Beauty, like the two other Bite Beauty lip crayons that weren't as wearable and did not suit my complexion. So yeah, I've worn these. I'm not a very big fan of the longevity of these, but the colors do look good, and since I have them, I do want to use them. So yeah, these are gonna get a little bit more love as well from me, hopefully. And yeah, I guess those are all the lipsticks. For some reason, I do have a feeling that I'm missing some of them. Like, yeah, I know Cherry Chic is not here. I still have to figure out where that is. But yeah, I guess those are all my lipsticks. If I do end up finding ones that are not here for some reason, then I will like insert that footage towards the end of the video. But yeah, those are all the lipsticks that I have. I'm mainly doing this video because I want to make it a series. Eventually I want to do update videos, and kind of like the first part that I showed you out of like the lipsticks that I want to use and use up, I want to have some progress there, and once I use them, I'll give you an update. I will also give you updated thoughts on the last pile that I shared with you, which is lipsticks that I want to try and test out and figure out my thoughts on. So when I do my next update, I will also put some of them in my favorites wala pile, and then put others in my lipsticks I want to use up wala pile. And then if I end up decluttering any of these, I will also share that with you as well. And eventually, as and when I bring in newer lipsticks to my collection, I will continue to do that, and I'm going to make this like a regular thing, because I think it inspires people to also go through their collection and try and test out and see what they have, figure out thoughts on. So yeah, that was it for the video. I really hope that you enjoyed. I'm once again really sorry for not being able to do this video in the style that I wanted to do, but I want to make that a thing in the future. So yeah, that's it for the video. It's definitely a lot longer than I'd hoped it would be, but yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.